I think we can live and learn from those guys. Well, not me, I'm tone deaf, but I'm sure heaps of you out there have dreamed of being a rock star. The fame, the fortune, not to mention the other, let's call them offstage fringe benefits. Well, Meggie Palmer has a fascinating yarn about a bloke who gave up all that, as he puts it, for the love of God.
First, there was the Beatles. Then came Australia's own The Flies.
We formed Australia's first long-haired group, and we sort of exploded on the scene.
Before long, The Flies had hit records and even toured with the Rolling Stones. Not bad for a band from Melbourne. Themi Adams was living the rock and roll dream. But these days, he's known as Father Themi, and now sings to a very different tune. He left the band, studied all over the world, and eventually answered the call to become a Greek Orthodox priest.
My parents thought I'd lost it. To give up everything I own and give it to the poor didn't sound very logical at the time. But I did it, and I don't regret it, because, you know, I've received so much more since doing that.
The contrast couldn't be more stark, but Father Themi doesn't regret the twist of fate.
Do you ever sit back and miss your life as a rock star?
No, not really. I don't. Honestly, I don't. I thank God I'm out of it, because it is superficial.
He left behind the material world for a life of poverty and chastity, and 30 years ago he headed to Africa to help. He was shocked by what he found. He couldn't ignore the war-torn country of Sierra Leone. He now lives in the small West African nation, scarred from years of conflict.
Babies, men, women, grandfathers, grandmothers, legs chopped off, arms chopped off. So right now we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of people without arms and legs, you see, trying to function.
Father Themi and his team helped them function a little better. His charity, Paradise for Kids Africa, provides education, health programs and life skills to otherwise forgotten people.
There are still many challenges because of the enormous poverty that exists there. Most of the kids in our school have never touched a computer, for example. Libraries are very rare in Sierra Leone.
The horrors, the sadness, the hardships they suffer further highlight for him just how lucky we Australians really are.
Are we a superficial bunch?
I think that's a good question, Meggie. There are two possibilities you can conclude. One, we are superficial, or rather, I would say we're apathetic, or we don't have knowledge of what is going on. The whale is stuck in the water. Hundreds of people go out to save a whale. And there are thousands of children dying on that day that whale is stuck in the water. Thousands of kids are dying of hunger. Save the whale. That's a paradox.
He worries our modern obsessions with celebrities and vanity are eating away at moral values, and he hopes we'll remember the mantra:
the haves need to worry about the have-nots. That's just a common sense responsibility.
The man who was a rock star in his day still has plenty of adoring fans, now for very different reasons.